in high definition. From the area's most experienced news team, this is NBC 29 HD News at 11.
Juan Ramon Guerrero.
Tonight, a Waynesboro church congregation remembers the 49 people killed in last Sunday's mass shooting at an Orlando, Florida nightclub. Thanks for staying up late with us. I'm Matt Talhelm. The Unitarian Universalist Church held that candlelight vigil as a way to share in their grief and to honor the lives lost 1 week ago. NBC 29's Nora News was there. She joins us now with that story, all new at 11. Nora?
Good evening, Matt. The main message of the vigil this evening was to never give in to fear and to let love overcome hate. The Universalist Unitarian Fellowship in Waynesboro has a long history of supporting the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community.
One of our core principles is the inherent worth and dignity of every person without restrictions on who that person is.
For Reverend Paul Oakley, it's personal.
I myself am a gay man. I'm in a partnership of 30 years.
Oakley led Sunday night's candlelit vigil for the 49 victims of the mass shooting at a gay nightclub in Orlando, Florida. This kind of violence is all too personal for Jim Calhoun. He says his son was in a classroom at Virginia Tech that was attacked by a gunman in the 2007 shooting that claimed 32 lives. Calhoun says his son survived by jumping out of a window.
So we're part of the club nobody wants to join.
Another congregation member, Abby Edwards, says her daughter lives in Orlando and her best friend was working as a bartender at Pulse nightclub at the time of the shooting.
And she saved her life by jumping underneath the bar, and she was there for the 3 hours. And she experienced this horrible, horrible thing.
People protected their flickering flames as the name of each victim was read aloud in memory of their lives.
We're here because we're part of one human family, and what affects one of us affects all of us.
Reverend Oakley says that anyone is welcome to come visit the church in Waynesboro, especially this week after a tragedy like this, and everyone needs to come together and be accepted.
Okay, Nora News live in our Charlottesville newsroom tonight. Thank you, Nora. And tonight, more than 50,000 people gathered for a massive vigil in Orlando to mark a week since the shootings at the Pulse nightclub. Just as that vigil started, a rainbow appeared over the city. The site was referenced by leaders of the vigil. The rainbow has long been a symbol of pride for the gay community. We will have a full report from tonight's vigil in Orlando coming up at 11:17. New tonight, police have charged the driver of a van that overturned on Interstate 95, killing 6 people. Wenceslao Cruz Marquez of Chicago, Illinois, faces 6 counts of involuntary manslaughter. State police believe driver fatigue was a factor in the crash, which happened early Saturday morning in Caroline County. The van was on its way from North Carolina to New Jersey with 15 passengers. Police say no one was wearing a seatbelt. 4 men, 1 woman, and a child were thrown from that van and died at the scene. On the Crime Watch tonight, a brother and sister from Stanton are behind bars for what police describe as a brutal attack on a Waynesboro teenager. 26-year-old Joshua Piner and his 18-year-old sister Brooke are now charged with assault by mob and robbery. Waynesboro police say Brooke Piner sent the 19-year-old victim a text message to lure him to North Park Monday night. When he got there, the victim tells police Joshua Piner and 2 other teens punched and kicked him and took his wallet. The victim was taken to UVA Medical Center with head injuries. Both Piners are held without bond at Middle River Regional Jail tonight. A shipment of marijuana sent to the wrong address in Waynesboro landed an Augusta County man in jail. Police say they intercepted this 2-pound package of marijuana that was sent through the U.S. Postal Service from Colorado to Waynesboro. The alleged buyer tried to track it down after it got delivered to a different address. Officers waited for Dakota DeWitt when he went to pick up that package. Tonight, the 24-year-old is charged with possession of marijuana with the intent to distribute. A new housing program is trying to help Charlottesville police officers afford to live in the city where they work. Through donations, the Charlottesville Police Foundation will pay $20,000 of an officer's down payment to buy a house in the city. New officer David Sprouse lives in Albemarle County with his family because he says he just can't afford Charlottesville's property prices.
We want to move in the city, just, closer to everything. It's nice to kind of live where you work and kind of have that communication with the people that I'll be serving.
No, it is definitely not the most profitable program that I've got running, but this isn't about profit.
The foundation also partners with officers with realtors, including Mark Polk. He charges a discounted commission to first responders. Polk says the program is important because it supports the men and women who keep our community safe. Charlottesville City Council is looking to spend $500,000 to start up a new parking department. Its job would be to make downtown parking more efficient by finding some more parking spots and locations. Within the next 3 to 4 months, the Water Street parking lot right there will close to make way for the Market Plaza development. So the city wants to identify some alternative parking solutions so people can easily access the downtown area.
And we want the experience when people come down to the downtown mall, because this is where everybody wants to come, that it's convenient, it's easy to do, you can get in, get out.
Once the city identifies those specific locations, it will need to purchase a metered parking system. City councilors are also thinking of using smartphones to make paying for street parking a bit more convenient. Drivers in western Augusta County should prepare for some delays as crews begin work Monday to replace a bridge on Route 250 near Churchville. The $2.8 million project will replace the nearly 90-year-old bridge over Whiskey Creek using a wider bridge. VDOT says crews may have to close some lanes on 250 when they build a temporary bridge to carry traffic during the construction. That new bridge should open in September of 2017. The Look 3 Festival of the Photograph is helping some families capture memories on this Father's Day with the snap of a camera lens. In one of the festival's final events, it held an inaugural family photo day at the Jefferson School City Center in Charlottesville. In addition to family portraits, people were also able to make mini self-portraits. These represent yet another tangible memory from the week-long festival experience.
Personally, I worry in the cell phone era that we're not printing things out enough, and that there won't be these objects that people will carry on and take to their bulletin boards in their college dorm rooms and such.
The Look 3 Festival wrapped up this afternoon. Organizers say they're planning events throughout the year to continue that dialogue about the power of photography. Some of Charlottesville's community leaders are sharing with us how they spent Father's Day. Fire Chief Andrew Baxter is working a 24-hour shift right now, so his 2 children and their mom visited him at the fire station. They brought cookies and a Father's Day card. Baxter says being a role model to his children is what's most important.
Getting to see my kids, move into adulthood and begin to make decisions on their own, and you get to see whether your parenting was on target.
Charlottesville Mayor Mike Signer spent the afternoon with his wife and twin boys at the park. Signer's biological father died in a car accident before he was born. He says the father who raised him taught him the values that he now imparts to his sons. Happy Father's Day. Strangers rushed to save a woman after she got trapped under a fallen tree near a popular tourist attraction in the nation's capital. We will show you the rescue. Plus, a massive vigil in Orlando, Florida marks a week since that mass shooting in a nightclub. We'll see how the community is coping 1 week later.
And higher pressure remains in control across the Commonwealth overnight, folks. Another cool, refreshing one with lows in the 50s. We're going to be quiet the next 24 hours, but some humidity and storm chances come in for Tuesday. I'll have the details coming up.
Morgan Moses and the Washington Redskins gearing up for the 2016 season. You'll hear from him on his improvement in the year ahead.